This is a presentation on various cultural and intercultural modes of communication by Angelie Bacalso, a Bachelor of Arts in English Language Studies student at Mindanao State University Buug campus. But first, I just want to clarify that the following images used in this video aren't mine, and I am so grateful to Google for providing me with the needs I have to make this presentation successful. These images belong to the rightful owners. Have you ever wondered what modes of communication people from different regions have? Good day! Today, we will talk about the various cultural and intercultural modes of communication for regions Africa, Asia, Europe, Latin America, and the Caribbean. First of all, what do cultural and intercultural modes of communication mean? Many definitions popped up when I browsed it in Google, and here they are. Number 1. Intercultural communication refers to the communication between people from two different cultures. Number 2. Intercultural communication is a symbolic, interpretive, transactional, contextual process in which people from different cultures create shared meanings. And number 3. Intercultural communication refers to the effects on communication behavior when different cultures interact together. Hence, one way of viewing intercultural communication is as communication that unfolds in symbolic intercultural spaces. For today's video, we will pick only one country from these regions: Africa, Asia except for the Philippines, Latin America, and the Caribbean, and Europe to discuss. From Africa, I chose Madagascar because I am a fan of the movie that is named after this country. Madagascar, according to Wikipedia, officially the Republic of Madagascar, is an island country in the Indian Ocean, approximately 400 kilometers off the coast of East Africa, across the Mozambique Channel. At 592,800 square kilometers, Madagascar is the world's second largest island country after Indonesia, and its capital is Antananarivo. According to Leif Parsons, behavior in Madagascar is governed by thousands of cultural taboos, or fadi, that may seem random and superstitious to outsiders. Well, in communication, probably they are more into being courteous as other countries are. In Madagascar, there are two languages spoken, Malagasy and French. David O'Shane, in his article, What Languages Are Spoken in Madagascar, says that Malagasy is a Malayo-Polynesian macro-language of the Austronesian language family, whose name refers to the dozen varieties of language, most scholars say there are exactly 12, that can be found throughout the island. The varieties are mostly mutually intelligible with one another, but are different enough to not be considered the same. The standard variety is known as Marina Malagasy, understood by the speakers of the other dialects. There are about 18 million people who speak Malagasy to some degree today. In greetings, there are varieties of terms that can be used, such as salama for hi. And if you want to call someone your friend, you'd rather call them namana, which means friend. And if you want to tell someone to enjoy their meal, you would say mazato. And if you want someone to be hit by someone, instead of saying hit him, you say kapoy. And to thank someone in Malagasy, you say mesotra. In the article using social media to empower Madagascar's youth, it is stated there that in the island nation of Madagascar, more than half of the population is under 20 years old, and over 1 in 3 girls becomes pregnant before her 8th birthday. But talking about sex remains taboo. Malagasy people are generally shy when talking about sexual matters. Most questions or concerns are ascribed to a friend or cousin, says Mananto. Questions about sex are always last to be asked. Usually, it seems that it's more issues about love and relationships that young people bring up first. On the other hand, Gestures in Madagascar are a bit similar to what almost all humans have. According to Google, a handshake is the most common form of greeting in Madagascar. Handshakes are with the right hand, while the left hand holds the right arm below the elbow. Personal space is much less than an arm's length away unless you are sick. Having a personal space bubble is considered offensive. Eye contact is usually limited between the majority of the separate groups of Madagascar, mainly out of respect. If you point your index finger, it is rude unless it is bent. Now, we're transporting to Asia. Asia is the largest continent in the world, and Israel is one of the countries that is known for its culture and history, and is belonged to Asia. National Geographic states that Israel is a small country in the Middle East about the size of the state of New Jersey. Its official name is the State of Israel, under the parliamentary democracy. With its capital Jerusalem, Israel has a population of 8,424,904 and square miles of 8,550 or 22,145 square kilometers. Its official languages are Hebrew and Arabic. 75% are Jewish, and most of the rest are Arabs, and shekel is their money. Just a bit of background about Israel. The story of modern Israel begins more than 3,500 years ago. Most Israelis are Jews, who are said to be descended from the biblical figure Abraham through his son Isaac. They were originally a group of tribes known as Israelites. Abraham led the Israelites from Mesopotamia, now the country of Iraq, to the Judean hills of what was then called Canaan. However, a famine later forced the Israelites to move to Egypt before Moses led them back in 1250 BC. In communication, Israelis usually communicate in a direct, straightforward, and informal manner, perhaps because of their language Hebrew, which is grammatically structured as direct. Their direct communication style in Israelis is known as dogriot, which refers to a forthright and unapologetic directness in communicating. Interests and desires are often expressed through direct phrases such as I want or I need, as opposed to indirect phrases such as would it be possible. Israelis talk loudly at a fast pace, accompanied with their hand gestures that often strangers think they are yelling and irritated. But it is all normal to them, and you might come across a group of Israelites having a conversation in a way that some of them interrupt the speaker, but it's just so common to them. They are also emotive communicators, especially when they're talking about something they are passionate about. They are also humorous speakers, and their common aspect of humor is chisbut, or humorous anecdotes and telltales. There is also a Yiddish slang word nu, which is used to urge someone to hurry up or to talk directly to the point. Touch or top is common to them, especially in men, as it is a sign of friendship. There is also some slight punch or throwing around one's arm around their counterpart's shoulders. But there are also some religiously observant Israelis who avoid physical contact with the opposite gender. Israelis also don't like personal space because they think it is rude when someone is pulling away from someone when talking. But religiously observant men and women stand farther apart when talking. Eye contact for them is good because they believe it is a sign of respect. But women divert their gaze when speaking to someone of the opposite gender. And what amazes me is their dislike of needless formality. I can say I can conform with the Israelis instantly the moment I get there, because I don't also like a needless formality. I mean, they don't like those sirs and ma'ams when you meet someone new, a professional who is working with you as the higher employees, or let's say, for example, your mentor. They don't like that formality in the military, such as executing the salute. Every minute they bump themselves to their high-ranked officials because they would consider it fake. Do you think we still have the enthusiasm to salute anyone when there is already an actual war? We will be killed by an enemy's M16 just because of that needless formality. They believe your respect couldn't only be shown just by those needless formalities. They believe your respect should be seen in your performance. In brief words, in my own opinion, most Israelis are humble and see everyone as equal with a deeper understanding of what is true respect and conformity. Ecuador is in western South America, bordering the Pacific Ocean at the equator, between Colombia and Peru. Its capital is Quito. Spanish is the official language of Ecuador, but the Indian language, Quechua, is also widely spoken. Ethnologue lists 22 languages of Ecuador, which include Achuar Chiwiar, Chapalache, Cofan, Colorado Chachila, Quaker, 9 varieties of Quechua, Sequoia, Shuar, Shona, Tetete, Norhanie. Generally, Ecuadorian people are known for having a warm and polite communication style. Compared to many other cultures, they may stand closer to one another while speaking. To avoid conflict, Ecuadorians favor an indirect communication style. Bluntness is considered rude, so rather than saying no directly, they may tell you what you wish to hear instead. As a result, they are highly tuned to body language and non-verbal communication. Ecuadorians need information in order to make their minds up on someone. Handshakes, especially between men, are common. The most common greeting is a handshake with direct eye contact and a smile. While shaking hands, use the appropriate greeting for the time of day. Buenos dias or good morning. Buenas tardes, good afternoon, or buenas noches, good evening. Shake hands when meeting someone and also when leaving. It is considered polite to greet people in stores or when passing on small roads. Ecuadorians also may greet by touching cheeks while kissing the air, instead of physically kissing each other's cheeks. People that are close greet in a much more tactile manner. Men embrace and pat each other on the shoulder, called an abrazo, and women kiss once on the right cheek. Always let the Ecuadorian determine when to move to this level of formality. Always refer to people by the appropriate honorific title, Señor or Señora, and their surname. In general, only close friends or family use first names. Once someone uses their first name, it is a sign that you may also do so. Common titles are doctor, ingeniero, engineer, arquitecto, architect, and abogado, lawyer. If someone does not have a title, the honorific señor or señora is used with a surname. Always wait until invited before moving to a first name basis. During dinner, discussing business,
is not so highly favorable. The host says "buen provecho" means enjoy or have a good meal as an invitation to start eating. Expect lively conversation during the meal. The host makes the first toast. The most common toast is "salud." Ecuadorian people also believe that a person's word is his bond. Never make promises you cannot keep.
And that was for Latin America and Caribbean islands. Now, let's transport to Europe. Albania, on southeastern Europe's Balkan Peninsula, is a small country with Adriatic and Ionian coastlines and then it's crossed by the Albanian Alps. The country has many castles and archaeological sites. Its capital is Tirana. Albania is known worldwide for its religious tolerance. The two main religions in Albania are Islam and Christianity. Although Muslims make up more than half of the population, Albania is a country which really respects all religions. Albanians place a large value on families and their ethnic heritage. In fact, they honor a traditional code called Besa, which translates to keep the promise. It is believed that observing Besa, which includes family honor and hospitality, is the foundation for a successful life. Teenagers have been taught that socializing and making relationships is important. Albanian is the official language of Albania. It has two distinct dialects, Tosk, spoken in the south, and Geg, spoken in the north. Parents and elders are highly respected in Albania, and students are taught not to argue with someone older and to listen without questioning. However, there are no specific rules on how teenagers should communicate with their parents or other family members. They have a direct style of communication with their family members and relatives. Culturally, Albanian teenagers are taught to keep negative emotions to themselves and not express their negative feelings or thoughts directly to their peers. They try to be careful in the way they express their thoughts or feelings, especially with people they do not know very well. In Albania, making eye contact during a conversation is an important sign of showing respect to anyone older than you, such as parents and teachers, as it shows that you are paying attention to what they are saying. Not making eye contact is considered rude. In greetings, man greeting man. Men shake hands when greeting one another, while maintaining steady eye contact. Depending on how close the men are with each other, a kiss on its cheek may be common as well. Woman greeting woman. A handshake is the norm for acquaintances and first meetings. A kiss on each cheek for friends, 2 kisses on each cheek if they are really close to each other or haven't seen each other in a long time. Man greeting woman. It depends on the relationship. For relatives, a kiss on each cheek or 2 per cheek is common. With friends or colleagues, normally a light handshake will do. Their communication style, for Albanians, can be very direct with some things and very indirect with other subjects, issues, or topics. For example, if you appear to be thinner or fatter than the last time they saw you, they will tell you and rather bluntly. But when asking about deeper issues, they really tend to skirt around issues. They like to uphold the most positive image possible, especially regarding their family. Albanians tend to bury anything shameful or any bad news they have. Personal space and touching. Albanians like to grab and hold hands if they meet a friend in the street, especially older women with others. In terms of personal space,
Albanians tend to sit close and speak to others in close proximity. A little less than an arm's length is the norm. This space be greater with strangers. Touching another person's arm, shoulder, and hands is pretty common if you know each other, but you would not do this to a stranger. However, if you are a young girl and are meeting an older woman for the first time, she'll likely pinch your cheeks and rest her hand on your leg if you're sitting near to each other and she likes you. Eye contact. Direct eye contact is very acceptable and an appropriate part of conversing. It doesn't change depending on whom one is speaking with. During conversations, sustained eye contact is commonplace rather than intermittent. They associate a steady gaze with sincerity. Gestures. Albanians are very enthusiastic and expressive with their hands. Waving the pointer finger back and forth and making a sound with the mouth means that you don't want something that is being offered. In certain areas, if you shake your head from side to side, you are indicating yes, and an up and down movement means no. One way to avoid confusion is to speak your answers or questions. Po, yes, or Jo, no. People beckon one another by extending an arm and making a scratching motion with their fingers. So those are the countries from each region: Asia, Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean islands, and Europe. And I want to say it again, that the image and the text that is used in this video aren't originally mine. And I'm so grateful for having Google as my aid to complete this assignment given by our lovely instructor. And thank you for watching. I hope you'll click the like button and please subscribe. Thank you.